Some like it hot. Habitual lurker. First-time poster. So apologies for anything I missed. No third party may repost or use this in any format. A long time ago, in what seems like a different life, I was working in a burrito restaurant. On the weekend late shift. Simpler times. During a quiet period, we had a gay couple come in to order. They were very nice and respectful, with a good bit of banter thrown in. While we're serving them, another person enters and I'm immediately on high alert. This guy looks like a classic Ned. To those not from the west coast of Scotland, this stands for non-educated delinquent, think a Karen. But more prone to violence than managerial. Immediately this guy starts with the homophobic abuse towards the nice couple who we are nearly finished serving, interspersed with some mild nonsense aimed at us. He is quickly told to knock it off and is clearly a little upset at this. The abuse drops to a trickle. But still there and still an unpleasant individual. The nice couple leaves and we're deciding whether to serve this clown or bounce him. Context. I was a collision sport athlete in excellent shape. He wanted absolutely no part of me. But before we decide, he moves on to stage 2 of the Ned playbook. Bragging. I don't feel spice. Nothing can hurt me. Give me the spiciest thing you have. Etc. Well, now, we used ghost chilies, Naga Jalakia, for our extra hot salsa, so we loaded up a burrito with loads of the stuff. But of course this was not enough for our dear Ned friend. No, because nothing can hurt him. We're obviously not understanding this. Little did he know I'd whipped up a special batch of staff-only extra hot salsa with about 3x the amount of ghost chilies in it. So we tell him about this, and of course it has to go in his burrito. Despite our earnings against this. Have we not been listening? He doesn't feel pain. So in goes a generous portion of this nuclear salsa. I know you're thinking we're done here. But no. Our dear friend really doesn't think we've understood how little spice affects him. He needs more. Chop a ghost chili into it. We gave him every opportunity to walk back from this demand. But no. He needs pure ghost chili. I bring one up from our store cupboard and chop a little into his burrito. But haven't I been listening? He needs the whole thing. I end up chopping about 3/4 of the thing into it. I'm looking at this insane burrito, worried I might burn a hole in his stomach. But also slightly excited to see this dose of instant karma. But still the bragging hasn't stopped. He won't need a drink. It'll be the mildest thing he's ever eaten. I'm sure you can imagine the rest of his nonsense. He takes the first bite into his burrito and is happily chewing through it. Clearly delighted that he was right about the spice level. He's just into his second mouthful when his face changes to concern, followed by surprise and then utter panic. He's backed himself into a corner and there's no way to win. Tears are streaming down his face at this point, and he very embarrassedly asks for a drink. But of course Fanta only makes the spice worse. It's now he fully realizes the magnitude of the error he's made. This fire will not go out. He's going to need our genuine help to get through this. He is immediately apologizing humbly and asks if there's something we can do to help. We bring him a large glass of milk so he can at least survive and head off into the night with his tail between his legs. In an unexpected turn, he continues eating the burrito from hell while sipping the milk and somehow manages to finish the whole thing. Still with tears pouring down himself, he thanks us, apologies again, gets a milk reload, and leaves for greener pastures. Despite his unpleasantness, I have to give him props for finishing that burrito. He was not in a good way the entire time, and it was as fitting a punishment as I could have hoped. 4. TLDR. Abusive man asks for spicy burrito and ends up with a whole ghost chili chopped through it. Regrets his life choices. There's a sub-rule about including the consequences. I think we all know what this guy's consequences were. I feel terrible for that poor toilet. An even happier ending would have been if the spiciness somehow ended his homophobia. But I suppose we can't have everything. Great story. Op. As your fellow spicy food lover who regularly orders Indian, Thai, Mexican spicy option, undiluted ghost and above is a hard pass for me. Because, while I might get the food down, I know from experience what will follow. That guy was probably hovering above the toilet seat from the force of liquid fire coming from his rectum. Why would any third party want to repost this? No third party may repost or use this in any format. Yeah. Nah. They most certainly can. Because you said that they can. This license includes the right for us to make your content available for syndication, broadcast, distribution, or publication by other companies, organizations, or individuals who partner with Reddit. Maybe read the EULA before agreeing to it? Spoiler alert. Saying third parties aren't allowed to use this does nothing. You publicly posted this on the internet. I don't know, this sounds like fanfic. This is just regular compliance. I'm tempted to ask what burrito chain this is. I like spicy foods, but I'll admit that I very seldom try anything hotter than a habanero. Still want to try that nuclear burrito though. Lol. High Scoville chili. The gift that keeps on giving. Especially the next morning in the bathroom. Sadly, I have had my gallbladder removed. And I have become a wooz when it comes to hot spices. This makes me sad. Kinda proud of the guy for not giving up. At least may not be someone I'd wanna be around, but I'd stick around long enough to watch that one. Lol. He was probably farting fire for real. Gives a new meaning to explosive diarrhea. I am a spice head. Most companies stop at what I call corporate spice, where anymore, and people will complain. I'm not one of the crazy guys from Spicy, but I'd hang out with them. I may regret it, but I'd love to try that burrito. Something in those Naga chilies. Know someone who is also one of the "no spice can harm me" clan. And he does take incredibly hot food. But Weatherspoon's Naga curry defeats him every time. And he never learns. We call them Boot Jolikia ghost burners. These chilies are so hot. But he deserved to eat that burrito. Relish in the fact that it'll hurt him again a few hours later when it works its way out. Should have used extract. That guy's toilet is going to look like a crime scene when he gets done with it. I have to say I'm quite disappointed. There shouldn't be room for debate. If someone is verbally attacking other customers, they need to be bounced and banned immediately. Public shaming is the only consequence these people understand. And if they are the ones being ashamed, eventually some will learn that their behavior isn't appropriate. Get yourself some powder called Bitrex. It is the world's most bitter substance. And it is awful. It is safe enough to digest in small batches, as it is used to prevent horses naving on their reins. It is unpleasant as all hell. But if you take just a small teaspoon of it, and mix it in with the really strong chili sauce, the next person who wants it stronger will get a surprise. I would highly recommend that when you open Bitrex and mix it, you are outside, and have some kind of mask on, or something covering your nose. I have worked with it, so I know how it affects people. 1 spoonful, mixed in about 5 liters of water, in a room that is 20 by 20 meters. Everyone can taste it.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Errorcast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.